This is Bob. He has spent his entire life glued to the earthly existence, believing wholeheartedly that space travel is the final frontier. He has read every book about astronauts, watched every documentary on interstellar journeys, and dreamed of one day boarding a spaceship to explore far-off planets. Now picture Bob hearing someone mention something peculiar, the astral plane. At first he laughs it off. Astral? What? That's just some New Age nonsense. He might scoff, wiping a hand over his forehead, exhausted by all the metaphysical mumbo-jumbo that he simply cannot fathom. But then, the concept keeps coming up. He hears it from a colleague at work, a friend at a dinner party, and a random person on the bus. They speak about it with such a nonchalant attitude. Oh, I had an astral projection last night. I was in another dimension exploring new realms. They casually mention their out-of-body experiences as though it's the most normal thing in the world. Bob is confused, even a little intrigued. He dismisses it as total gibberish, but the curiosity gnaws at him. Could this be the next real adventure? Something beyond the physical body? After all, astronauts can only explore the cold vacuum of space. What if there's something more, something truly limitless, that doesn't require a spaceship at all? Bob is not your usual spiritual seeker. He'd never sat cross-legged unless tying his shoes. And his idea of mindfulness was waiting patiently for pizza rolls to cool. But he'd been watching conspiracy documentaries for 3 straight nights and read somewhere between Reddit threads that the government hides portals in sleep paralysis. That was enough for him, and so Bob decides to give it a shot. With an eye roll and a deep breath, he Googles how to astral project. He figures it's as simple as taking a nap. Well, you see, most Bobs would never do this. But this Bob is either very open-minded or very bored. He threw himself onto his IKEA mattress like a martyr, closed his eyes and whispered, "Take me, cosmic Uber." He wasn't entirely sure who he was talking to, but figured the astral realm had customer service. The first hour was uneventful, aside from a mild hallucination of Nikola Tesla nodding at him. But at precisely 3:07 a.m., something clicked. Or unclicked. It wasn't dramatic. No vortex, no booming voices. Just a sound like a coat slipping off a hanger. And suddenly, Bob was in what appeared to be a bureaucratic waiting room made entirely of velvet geometry. Bob tumbled into a dimension that looked suspiciously like a conference room. An overhead projector flickered to life, displaying a graph titled Bob's Emotional Growth. It was a flat line. A suited figure stood up, adjusted their glasses, and cleared their throat. "Welcome to the dimension of missed potential," they said. "You're here because, quite frankly, Bob, you could have been so much more. You could have been an astronaut or a space engineer." Bob blinked. The lights above buzzed with fluorescent indifference. The suited figure continued, flipping through slides. "At age 9, you built a rocket out of cereal boxes. By 12, you memorized constellations. And yet here we are." The screen shifted to a pie chart labeled Time Spent Daydreaming. A large blue wedge swallowed the rest. Bob stood up, hands trembling. "Is this hell? Was I just sleeping all my life?" he asked. "No," the figure replied. "Hell at least has purpose. This is where all the almosts go. The nearly great, the nearly awake, the nearly you." Bob turned to the projector. The graph had changed. The flat line now had a tiny upward tick. "What's that?" he asked. The figure adjusted their glasses. "That's you, asking a real question for the first time in years." So you see, very often when people travel to other dimensions, they find their own self at the center of attention. Even when the body sleeps and the soul slips its leash, you bring your architecture with you. The self doesn't vanish. It bends the landscape. In other dimensions, you're not invisible. You're the prism that warps light. And it's not that the place revolves around you. It's that you can't escape the lens you carry. Until you dissolve the internal gravity, every realm you step into will echo your own blueprint. Even alien skies bend into familiar symbols when filtered through a self that still clings to shape. This happens because you, the traveler, are the doorway. To go beyond is rare. Most people leave this dimension but forget to leave themselves. You're most definitely not meant to travel through space in a coffin made of screws. Mystics think it's silly to travel across dimensions in a metal machine. They also don't believe in linear maps. To be a mystic is to experience the levels as simultaneous and alive. So the following idea is not doctrine. It's a meta-map drawing from many wells. Paramahansa Yogananda wrote Autobiography of a Yogi. The astral universe is hundreds of times larger than the material universe, with many astral planets teeming with astral beings. What Yogananda calls the astral universe is not a spiritual afterlife. It is a mirror of the psyche itself. Carl Jung said, "Who looks outside dreams. Who looks inside awakes." In the astral, every emotion becomes architecture. What we call heaven, or astral realms, are spaces generated by coherent psychic states, shared group dreams, stabilized over epochs. Some are paradises, others are mental swamps. Just as cities reflect the psychology of their builders, astral planets are built from archetypes, karma, and collective intention. You are not born into them randomly. You gravitate toward them like tuning forks, seeking harmony. Many religious cosmologies speak of heavens and hells as if they are moral reward systems. But if we take Yogananda seriously, the astral universe isn't ruled by divine judgment. It operates more like resonance. You don't go to a place because of what you did. You go because of what you are. This turns the astral into not just a heaven or hallucination, but a fully populated interdimensional society, each layer governed by degrees of refinement. The astral bleeds into waking life constantly. Intuition, synchronicity, inspiration, precognition, déjà vu. These are ripple effects from astral patterns becoming dense enough to brush the edge of your nervous system. Dreams are not garbage sorting. They're nightly briefings, astral places, astral faces. And if you become lucid in the dream state, you're not only dreaming, you're visiting. This also explains why people have similar visionary experiences. These aren't hallucinations. They're shared spatial geometries. So, when you feel the earth beneath your feet, when you touch the cool surface of your skin and feel your heartbeat in your chest, remember this is but a whisper of a truth far deeper. You are not here. You have never truly been. You are the distance between all things, the void that gives life to everything. Your true self is a spark that burns on the edge of existence, just as the stars burn, as galaxies turn, as the universe itself expands and contracts like a breath. You are everywhere. You are the spark that ignited the stars. You are the river that flows through the unseen currents of the world. You are the first thought that existed before time. And you will be the last exhale when this world dissolves. You are never dropped into this world like a coin into a fountain. You are not a visitor here. You're not in the universe. You're a wrinkle in its mouth, a twitch in its sleep, a joke it told itself, and forgot the punchline. Everything you touch is you. The chair, the sound of breathing, the light bruising the floor. There's no outer world, just folds, layers, veils dancing with themselves. Forget all this nonsense about escaping the physical. You are the physical. You're the seduction of carbon, the animal-flavored idea of God. The world isn't outside you. You're its favorite disguise. So stop reaching upward. There's no sky to ascend to, no God outside watching. You are the blood of divinity curdled into form, trying to remember why it hurts so sweetly to exist. I've prepared 3 powerful audiobooks that will guide you into the world of astral travel. I will put the link for a free 1-month membership in the description, together with a list of the books that will give you access to any of them without paying.